what type of hive should I buy? I end up landing on the Langstroth hive just because the information available on how to manage the Langstroth was so much better. So if you're just looking for the easiest way to get into beekeeping, just like me, I chose the Langstroth hive because that is the easiest way to get into it.
So a lot of people are interested in this homesteading trend. It's a great lifestyle. It's a very simple life, and it just always looks so enjoyable, does it not? For someone who's trying to get into this homesteading way of life, might seem overwhelming because there's a lot to it. And I would say my word of advice is it's okay to start small, because by the time you finally achieve to where you want to be, things are just going to get so much easier. If you're living, whether you're living in an apartment, whether you're living in a small townhouse, you can always support local.
So right now we have 10 active hives. Our goal is to have at least 20 by the end of this season. So actually there was a guy that actually in our church, he wanted to do beekeeping, and he ended up not doing it, but he actually bought a bunch of stuff from Galena Farms and bought some Hoover Hives. And so when he heard that we were jumping into beekeeping, he ended up just blessing us with our first one, and we fell in love with it. I love that it was coated with wax. It was beautiful. My kids were playing around with it, and I was like, man, I need to learn more about these hives. And so we ended up buying another one. And anytime anyone asks us, hey, what hive should I get? We've already sent a couple guides over to Galena Farms. So we just love them. They're beautiful.
So much of my work has been around queen rearing and like bee reproduction, and, basically requeening hives, working with queen bees, understanding kind of the genetics and kind of evolution of hives over time, and adaptive traits, all those sorts of things. Queen bees, not every queen is the same. Not every queen is created equally, and queen quality can really vary a lot. And so, like I was saying, let the bees be our teachers and kind of let them sort of be the guide.
We are preparing for the imminent swarm season, in which I'm also a swarm collector. I remove swarms, low-hanging fruit from branches in people's yards, and I do cutouts as well. So to prepare for swarm season, importantly, you want to be doing inspections in your hives every 7 to 10 days is recommended. You're looking for high drone population. You're looking for the start of queen cells, especially loaded queen or charged queen cells that have larvae and royal jelly. You're looking for walking drones on your frames. Walking drones are a good indicator that the timing is going to be correct. For mating age drones, you're going to be looking for all of those things in your hives.
So from sharing our life on social media, that has definitely grown my interest in the homesteading community. For example, the bees. There's a couple of other followers, or other creators rather, on Instagram that got into beekeeping, and I thought, you know what? I wonder if I could do this. How hard can it be, right? So how did I educate myself regarding beekeeping? Well, it all kind of started with going to my local farmers market. I'd highly suggest that for anybody new, or not necessarily in beekeeping in general, just a new, maybe like a homesteading hobby. There was a booth that I seen every Saturday morning that had the most beautiful honey and all different products available. And I just kind of walked up one morning when it was slow and said, "Hi, I'm Casey. Can you tell me about your beekeeping and your beekeeping experience and how you got here?"
Honey is like wine. You have terroir, you have one location where this honey is made, no others, and you have a season. This honey made here will never exist again. Even if the hives stay in the same location, every season is unique. Some are windier, some are hotter, some are whatever influence the bees and the nature around them will make different honey. So each honey is unique, and we don't have, or very little of it, this kind of culture around honey, and that's what I'm trying to develop.
So when it comes to honey production, that's our funnest time, because when you look at the bees, they look so good, and then just carrying those boxes around, they're heavy, and it's honey and it's just delicious, and we're also making some money, so we like that. So my advice for beginning beekeepers that want to get into it and to be successful, it's a hard industry to do, but it's a fun hobby, and honey is such an awesome thing. It's delicious and it's healthy, and so it's a cool thing. I like people that put it in their backyards.
Have your colony close to you, because that's how you learn, by observation, right? That's the first rule of science, is observing, and that's how we come up with conclusions or questions. I have at my house in the city, I have about 15 hives here, and each colony is different, and I can see all of them. I see them every single day. And that to me has been the most important thing for as a new beekeeper to learn. One thing that you hear when you first start beekeeping is that new beekeepers get into their hives too often. Not that it's not true. I disagree with that. I think that new beekeepers need to get into their hives. They need to see what's going on. They need to record and document what their colonies look like, because if you've never had something before, you don't know what to compare it to.
Getting into beekeeping can be pretty intimidating. And I think that initially it's the cost of getting all of the equipment and the unknown of like, where do you buy your bees from? Who can you trust? And also, man, the learning curve is so steep when it comes to varroa management, recognizing queen health issues. And so that's why it's so important to have friends that are beekeepers, so you have somebody that you can ask about this stuff. And working with a mentor really can help.
One of the things that I think creates a successful mentality on a homestead is you have to be prepared that you're going to have failure. And once you're okay with that and just knowing that if you fail, you can, pivot, go a different direction, learn how to do it better and try again, it makes it a little bit more sustainable because you don't feel like you have to get it right the first time. And beekeeping is definitely one of those things. We have had failure with beekeeping multiple times, but it's something that was really important to our family. It's an important part of our homestead, so we keep trying and we keep learning and finding really good people. We've got some really great support systems, and we're still learning to this day.